In this video, we'll cover how to bulk edit your content inside WishList Member. This includes things like posts, pages, categories, tags, custom post types, taxonomies, and so forth. In order to access these settings, select the Content tab from the WishList Member dashboard. Here you will see a listing of the different content types that you have available inside your WordPress install. Simply find the content type you'd like to work with and select it. In this case, we'll stick with posts. Once you've selected your content type, move down to the drop-down box down below. Here, you can select whether you want to edit the content protection settings, the pay-per-post settings, settings for a particular membership level, or the user post settings. We'll start by editing the content protection settings. This screen allows us to protect content in bulk. Simply select the content you would like protected and hit Set Protection. Now each piece of content will be protected inside WishList Member. Of course, whenever you protect something, it's also important to allow certain membership levels to have access to that content. So for now, we'll go ahead and skip to a particular membership level. In this case, the customer's membership level. Here we can select the content that the customer's membership level will have access to. Simply select the checkboxes of the pieces of content you'd like this membership level to have access to and select Grant Access. Now the customer's membership level will have access to the posts selected below. Of course, you would want to go through and do this for each one of your membership levels, setting the access settings accordingly. Next, you can choose to manage the pay-per-post settings. This screen allows us to choose which pieces of content will have the pay-per-post functionality enabled for it. Simply select the pieces of content that you would like to enable pay-per-post for and select Set Pay-per-Post. Now, pay-per-post functionality will be enabled for the pieces of content selected below. You'll also notice that when you select pay-per-post from the drop-down, the content types above are changed. This is because only certain content types can be managed using the pay-per-post functionality. For example, categories, tags, and custom taxonomies do not have pay-per-post functionality enabled for them. Finally, we can select the User Posts option from the drop-down. And here we can search for an individual user. Then we'll get a list of all the different users that match our search criteria. We simply select the user that we'd like to edit pay-per-post settings for. Now we'll be taken to a list of individual content that we can grant access for this particular user. Simply select the pieces of content you would like this individual user to have access to and select Grant Access. Now this individual user will have access to the pieces of content selected below. As mentioned previously, there are a number of different content types that you can edit settings for. For example, posts, pages, and any custom post types that a plugin or your theme may have created inside your WordPress install. If you've authorized WishList Member to manage the protection and access settings for these custom post types, they'll display above. Simply select the content type you would like to manage and you'll be able to edit those settings. For different post types, the settings will be exactly the same as the posts or pages functionality. It will simply contain the different content type. However, for content such as categories, files, and folders, the settings will be slightly different. If we select the settings content type, you will now see a list of all the different categories that have been created on your site. In the drop-down here, you can select Content Protection to manage the content protection settings for this content. If you would like to manage the access settings for this content type, simply select the membership level you would like to edit access settings for and grant access to individual categories for this membership level accordingly. If your theme or plugin has created a custom taxonomy, you will see those terms listed below all of the category terms, and you can edit the settings for those terms accordingly. Next, the files content type will be slightly different as well. When selected, you'll see a list of all of the files that you've uploaded using the WordPress Media Uploader. And here you can set the content protection and access settings for those content types accordingly. Over to the right, you'll see the parent post column and the inherit parents protection column. If this file has been uploaded inside of a post or page or other custom post type, then you will see the name of the post that the content was uploaded through under the parent post column, and a checkbox under the inherit parents protection column. This allows you to choose whether or not you would like this particular file to inherit the content protection and access settings for the post that it was uploaded through. By default, this setting is enabled. Again, you can set the protection and access settings accordingly based on your preference here and select Grant Access. Finally is the folders content. Here you can set up the folder protection through WishList Member, which allows you to upload files via FTP to a pre-configured folder, and those files will be automatically protected. Down below, you'll notice two options available. One, you can automatically configure folder protection, or two, you can manually configure folder protection. We'll select the automatically configure folder protection option. Here you will see a description of exactly what will happen when you select the auto configure button below. First, it will create a folder with the name files on your WordPress installation path and set it as the parent folder. Then it will create subfolders for each one of your membership levels. It will grant access for each subfolder to its matching membership level. And it will create an example file.txt inside your protected folders that you can use to test your folder protection. Once configured, you can simply upload files to the corresponding membership level folder, and those files will only be available to that membership level. Of course, if you prefer, you can manually configure folder protection, and you'll see instructions for exactly how to do that. Once you've set up your folders according to the instructions above, you simply specify your parent folder and select Save Settings, and your folder protection will be set up according to your settings. In most cases, you want to automatically configure your folder protection. That is how to manage content in bulk inside WishList Member. Hopefully you found that helpful, and I'll talk to you later.